You'll watch it, Alex.
Yeah, I already
Great
threw it to
movie.
LeBron. You guys can go.
Hey, LeBron, we haven't seen you guys get outscored in a fourth quarter like that in a while. What did you see as the breakdowns, and did they have anything to do with the way the game had evolved to that point?
I think we had some tough breaks, some tough calls against us in the second half that kind of slowed our pace down. You know, and it just slowed everything down. We couldn't get back into a rhythm after the game was slowed down a little bit, and they did a great job of countering that. So something we can learn from, and you know, it's always great to have games like that.
Yeah, what's the balance between frustration at a loss that you feel like you should have had, and then also kind of acknowledgement of the bigger picture for you?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously, you know, it's frustrating anytime you lose, you know, especially when you know you could have played better, and we know we could play much better. So you learn from all of that, and you know, apply it to the next game.
Bill?
Hey, LeBron, you had a couple of travels in the fourth quarter, specifically that first one. I think after you just want to talk us through those then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've seen him on replays, and you know, it's a move I've been making pretty much my whole career. And if that's the call that's going to be called travel, then I would like to see it across the whole board. You know, every game, and it consistent like that. I mean, it's so funny because the very next play, you know, Draymond gets into the lane and slides his foot, and it's not called, and the same official who called me for the travel is right there on the play and told me he didn't travel. So that's definitely, you know, something that I got to be more, you know, leery about, but I have not been called for travels like that in my career.
Kyle?
Hey, LeBron, as a team, I think you guys only had 4 fast break points and on that last possession before the timeout. It looked like you might have a transition opportunity. Do you guys feel like you were attacked enough in transition on offense tonight?
I think at times, including myself, we settled for the perimeter shot in transition instead of attacking to the rim. But, you know, we've been pretty good at that all year. And, you know, some games you're going to have, you know, we would love to be in transition more, but you got to get stops, one, to be in transition. And in the fourth quarter, you know, they did a good job of not allowing us to get too many stops.
Dave?
Kyle Kuzma said that it's 72-game season, and maybe it's going to be hard to keep the urgency up. Is there some human nature complacency going on here that could have been part of the recipe tonight?
No.
Melissa? I'm sorry, Dan?
LeBron, you guys probably won't play very many games this season where you and AD combined to score, I think, 36 points or something like that offensively. Why was it so disjointed, do you think, for the two of you guys offensively tonight?
I mean, both of us was just a little bit out of rhythm, you know, and I think, you know, we're going to have games like that this year where we're out of rhythm. The best thing about our team is we had guys that picked us up. You know, Dennis was great. You know, Trez, again, coming off the bench was great. Kuz, got hot for us a little bit in that third, made some shots for us. So, you know, in times where we both are just a little bit out of rhythm, we have the ability to have our teammates that picked us up and still give us a chance to win, which we had tonight.
Last 3, Melissa.
Hey, LeBron, we're approaching the 1-year anniversary of Kobe's death, and you obviously have done so much to honor him, including winning a title in his honor. I'm curious, when you think back to the events of that day, how do you process the emotions of it and just sort of the emotions of the year that followed afterwards?
Try not to take myself back to that position or that place or that time frame. Obviously, he's looking down on us, you know, along with Gigi, and just proud of what we're trying to do here as an organization. And hopefully we continue to make him proud as well and make her proud to wear the purple and gold every night. So I don't want to live in the past. I definitely don't want to live out that day again. So, you know, it's about always continue to move forward and continue to live on his legacy.
Last 2, Mark Medina.
Hey, LeBron, in two-part here in lieu of Martin Luther King Day, you had shared in the bubble that you were reading the autobiography of Malcolm X. So I was wondering, is there a book about Martin Luther King or one of his speeches that really resonates with you? And what do you draw from how both Martin Luther King and Malcolm X brought about change on the.
I've never read an autobiography of Martin Luther King. Obviously I grew up in school, you get taught a little bit about him, especially during Black History Month, things of that nature. But as I continue to grow and continue to come into myself, you just read a lot of his teachings, a lot of his speeches, a lot of his forthcomings and things that he believed in and things that he preached that would be better for the change of America and change for the better people. So, when you just look at some of his most famous quotes and things that he was able to say to the people and believe in, it's things that we're going through right now. It's things that if we apply, then it will make our society a lot better. He was a man of the people, and he had a lot of power, and that's why he was ultimately gunned down, unfortunately, because of the power that he had for the people. People resonated with him. People believed in him. People wanted to walk with him and talk with him and be with him. You just live on. His legacy, along with Malcolm X, continues to live on about what they preached and what they believed in.
Still to come on Access, Lakers led by his...
And we weathered the storm against an amazing, championship caliber team, so it's a big win for us.
I think Steph hit it on the head right there. I mean, that's you got to give props to this Warriors team. They kept competing, and we all kept saying during the game, Allie, when we were all watching, they're playing hard. You got to like this young team. They're playing hard. But then they started creeping back. You just knew that the Warriors are that kind of a team that could take this game over, especially with a guy like Steph Curry.
And that's, you nailed it. When you got your foundation there, yes, they're without Klay Thompson, which is a big piece.
Huge.
But you still have Draymond Green. You still have Steph Curry. You still have Steve Kerr at the head of it all. And they're the dynasty of this age. And what they are putting into practice and trying to build until Klay comes back and continuing on is still what the Warriors have all been about. And that's competing and doing it on both ends of the floor.
When you've played enough sports or watched enough like we have, you sense things. And the bench was so into it for the Warriors. They were off the bench. They were going crazy on every play. And you could just tell, James, that they were not going to go out quietly.
I just give credit to Steve Kerr, because I could just hear him saying in practice, weeks ago, we're going to be without Klay. Look, this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to keep our head in the game. It's a slow process. We're going to struggle a little bit. We just keep playing, and that's what they did. I mean, I thought Eric Pascal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought he dominated the game and really gave them a lift to let them know that, hey, this is possible. He's going to the cup with authority, physical. I just thought that the Lakers allowed them to hang around. If they had put their foot down when they were up 19, they could have taken care of this. But I think they're used to now. I don't think it's going to be permanent, but I think their recent success, I think sometimes it sets in that you can take care of a team when you need to, especially if they're a little bit undermanned. Not against Steph Curry. He's a champion, and so is that organization.
All right, Kyle Kuzma with his second straight double-double, the third in the last 4 games. He's speaking with Brez in the media.
Hey, Kyle, you guys were up 17 early in that third quarter. What are some of the reasons that you saw for you guys losing the game tonight?
Sense of urgency. I think that's the biggest thing that really happened from a team perspective. Anytime having a lead going up 17, 20, you kind of always, I wouldn't say always, but there's an area where you can, take your foot off the gas, and that's kind of what we did, and stop scoring and stop defending per section, and they got back in the game.
Yeah, you mentioned the defense. You guys came in as a top-rated defense in the entire league, but tonight, especially in that second half, he gave up, I believe it was 67 points, and guys like Eric Pascal kind of kept getting through the defense and scoring on layups. Did you kind of see the same thing too?
Yeah, I don't want to downgrade someone like him, because he's a good player in this league, a young player, but they just had a lot of different opportunities to score. We just put our foot off the gas, missing rotations, allowing people to get behind the defense and score, like you kind of just did. And, Steph hit a couple of shots. Oubre had a few layups. It happens. It's a long season. It's kind of hard to keep that sense of urgency of the team for 72 games, and we just let one slip. So.
And Kyle, last one from me. You guys have been really shooting well from 3-point range. didn't happen tonight for you guys. Was that kind of a talk in the locker room? Offense kind of fell apart, and the defense as well, as you've mentioned.
No, nobody's never really worried, honestly. You know, I don't want to downplay losses, but you know, everybody's has the same spirit they've had all year. Does suck to lose, but you know, it's not